Breaking news. Tommy Fury pulls out of the fight against Jake Paul, and Tyron Woodley steps in for the rematch. If I'm Tyron Woodley, I'm jumping up and down with joy because I'm about to take home 2 bags in a row. $1 million purse, more than likely. Jake Paul claims $500,000 if he knocks him out. We know Woodley's making great money. Looking at Fury pulling out, though, I'm not trying to say it's a shitty excuse. I mean, obviously, it could be a serious chest infection. They said he also has a broken rib. We follow MMA. We're used to the MMA game. Fighters fight through torn ACLs, staph infections, broken limbs. It's a different game. In boxing, they tend to pull out a little bit easier. Fury doing that. Maybe it shows a little bit of a lack of confidence because you know what? I don't think Tommy Fury is all that great. Tyson Fury in a recent video, I saw him hyping him up.
Tommy could have his worst night ever and still beat Jake Paul. He'd probably turn up with broken ribs, a broken left hand, 2 left feet, his clothes on back to front, and with the flu, and then still beat Jake Paul.
He'll beat Jake Paul with 1 arm, 2 left feet. If that was actually true, he'd beat him with a broken rib and a chest infection. He pulled out for the reason of lack thereof confidence and most likely potential of maybe not having the stamina, the ability to train as hard as he would have liked, because he knows that maybe his level isn't as good as the Fury name carries. For Jake Paul now fighting against Tyron Woodley, I like this matchup. I'm cool with this fight again. I don't think it excites me all that much. I would much rather see the Fury fight because now we get to see Paul versus an actual boxer. Tyron Woodley, MMA champion. You know, I remember in the last one they call him an MMA striker, but he's a wrestler and he looked awkward as shit in that first fight. You go back to it. I know there was talk from Woodley that he felt he won and whatnot. I thought Jake Paul earned the decision. Regardless of how you feel about him, I think most of you would probably agree with that. They say, oh, there was a no knockout clause. Well, now supposedly $500,000 extra if Woodley can knock him out. Do I actually see him doing such a thing? Probably not. I feel like this fight's going to go exactly the same as the last one. You'll see some close moments. Woodley will be too gun shy, which has kind of been his problem in most recent fights in mixed martial arts and boxing. And now, potentially, this man's going to be 0-2 against Jake Paul. For the former UFC champion, it ain't going to look great. You know what, though? The cash that he's getting is worth the legacy smearing because he's not going to make this type of money fighting anybody else. I mean, maybe Triad Combat brings him on and he makes 250, 300K. Maybe he fights in MMA, maybe Bellator, who knows where. Maybe Ryzen somehow in Japan. Maybe he makes a couple $100,000. Right here, you get guaranteed like 500K minimum, but really, I'm assuming it's about $1 million. Best case scenario for Woodley, you beat Jake Paul this time, and then you do a trilogy and you take home another bag. Woodley's over 40. Now is the time that he's trying to cash and make as much money as possible to set him up for his nice retirement, his children. I mean, he's trying to build that generational wealth now, and he's not going to do it by rapping.
Falling in and out of love, in and out of love with you. Falling in and out of love, in and out of love with you.
Because, damn, Tyron Woodley can't rap. Jake Paul, smart move to bring Woodley in. I don't know who else you would have brought in. I mean, you're not going to bring in some high-level pro. You're not going to bring in a guy that has 5 pro bouts that's 5-0. You can't sell a fight against a guy that might be 2-2, which would realistically, if Jake Paul fought like a 2-2 pro boxer or a 1-3, I wouldn't be disappointed. I'd be actually kind of curious, like, if they called some no-name guy that's 2-2 or 1-3 or 2-3, whatever, somebody that has some losses but also has at least a win and brings them into a fight and they don't throw it, no fix, an actual bout, how does he fare? I think he'd probably win against a guy that was 1-3 or 2-2. I think Jake Paul's okay. He's still learning the sport of boxing. He's getting a better game time in and time out. He was supposed to fight Fury. I think that fight still happens. So this is probably, I guess, what comes now. You have the Tyron Woodley rematch. Assuming Jake Paul wins, which I think that most of us will agree he will, or at least he's expected to win this fight. I expect him to win. I'm picking him to win the fight. Early prediction right now, I got Jake Paul beating Woodley again. Then there's the Tommy Fury fight on the horizon later in the year. Paul gets another bag, gets another win. Woodley also cashes a bit. Short notice. Got to respect Woodley for jumping in. It's boxing. This man's used to the cage. Fury, I don't know. I'm kind of on Team Paul here. A little bit of pussification pulling out. I hope it's nothing too serious. I feel like fight through the injury, get your bag, and get your chance to beat Jake Paul. To me, it shows a lack of confidence. And honestly, more time for Jake Paul to get better. So when their fight happens in 2022, maybe March, expect Paul to at least be a tad bit better and have more fight experience under the belt. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction video to this fight news. Smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Turn the post notifications on. Keep it locked in at MMA Experts. Thank you all so much. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace, guys.